Hi, I'm Meredith Eugene Hunt, and I'm going to show you today how to make the best pro-life anti-abortion signs. I've been making signs for about 30 years, and I've had my signs on television and newspapers. And what you need is a strong message and a simple message and a bold text. It says, "I'm pro-life." It's made with a single pass of a magic marker. And the problem with this is that you can't read it from a distance. In a newspaper, it won't even be seen. So let's just see what it looks like. I'm going to back up. I'll bet you can't see it. But I bet you can see this one. Abortion hurts women, and it's two-sided, and you can hold it up. Okay. Let's look at your materials. First of all, poster board. This is a high quality poster board. You can see the label on here. It says Create Premium Poster Board 22 by 28. I got this at Walmart. I've looked around and around, and the only place that I find that has quality poster board is Walmart. And even though I threw the sign away, the colored paper at Walmart does not have a slick finish, but the white paper does. So this is really nice white paper. It also is the Create Premium Poster Board. Cost about $1 a sheet. So don't buy it in the pack, because what you'll find is that it's kind of pulpy paper. It has a rough texture on it. It tears easy. It gets wet, it'll fall apart. So Walmart is the place. All right, now we go through the materials and supplies here. The next item, of course, is paint, and this is a black latex paint. You can use any kind of really dark latex paint. You want latex because it dries quickly. It's easy to clean up. I've got a pink here. I've got some accent colors, orange and green. You can buy these samplers for about $3 at Lowe's or Home Depot. There's a white paint. I've got Scotch Guard, which you can spray after your sign has dried. You can spray that over, and it gives it an extra layer of protection against the rain. So you put a lot of time into making nice signs. You want them to last a long time. Paint can opener. These are 1/4-inch staples and 1-inch brads, stapler, staple gun, and then probably your most important thing of all are your brushes. These are foam disposable brushes, and the best one is the 1-inch. If you just get one kind of brush, get the 1-inch. I like to make letters a little bigger sometimes, so I get a larger one. This is probably 1.25 inches. I've trimmed it down with my scissors. And then for long words on your poster, you'll want to get a 1-inch and then trim it down. This is probably 3/4 inch. Okay. I'm going to paint a letter here. I've already got a couple letters. The starting off, you want to compose your message. So if you can show this one right here, this is Defund Planned Parenthood. It's a very short message. It's 3 words. Your message ideally should be 2 to 5, no more than 5. And it also is pertinent to the day. This is the campaign. We're trying to get Planned Parenthood defunded. So it's a simple message. It can be read from a long way off. I've got a lot of things right in this sign. I've got light on dark. I've got different colors. I'm going to put a strong message on, but parenthood is a long word. So you may need to practice a little bit. If some people may want to just get a pencil and sketch in the letters, and you got to stick pretty close to that. O's take up a lot of space, so you want to make them oval as opposed to round. If for some reason you mess up and you got a nice defund, I just cut this off and put a PP over there. Of course, I'm making signs for large numbers of people, and this would be good for a child hold. I've already got a couple letters here. I've got a ruler, so I know when I start off, I know that it's going to be about 8 inches because I've made some signs before and pretty well got the design down how I want that. Just quick strokes. Get to the bottom, you can polish it off a little bit. Don't belabor it. It's quite simple, just quick clean strokes, and you can always repair it later. Sometimes I'll make it, a drip will fall on the poster board, and if I can, I'll just paint over it. That is, paint the letter over it. If it's in a wrong spot, I can just get a little pink magic marker or red and touch that up. Once you get your sign all painted, you put it where it can dry. I've got some signs that are already painted and dried. Defund Planned Parenthood and 2 sides. Let me talk about something else while we're thinking of it. Move down here to the light. Even when this paint is dry, this is good paint, but there's a problem. If you were to store your signs dry, paint to paint, that is, if you had like 2 or 3 signs in a stack, that paint would stick to paint, and then when you pull them apart, it would pull the paint off, and then you'd have red showing through, and you'd have to repair that. So in order to prevent that, I store and recommend storing your signs in plastic bags. So you can see I've got these in a plastic bag here. It's a black plastic bag, and what that does is it makes it so that people can't see it until you want them to see it, so you can carry them in and out to the site where you're picketing, and you don't have to alarm or upset people. I've got it labeled so you can see it says PP UCA, so it tells me what's inside of it. You can also use, I started using the transparent recycle bags because then you can see through them. It gives them protection from the weather, keeps them from sticking to one another, and yet you can see what they are. There's another little touch here. I like to add some artwork to it so that helps identify what it's about. Let me show you over here. This little artwork right here. So that's Planned Parenthood pink. We've got that on both sides. Okay, so in order to put a stick on your sign, you get your stapler and just staple that on the edge all the way around, line up your corner. And I won't do the whole thing, but you go all the way around, but you leave the bottom open. And I've already got one here ready. This is a sign I've already stapled around the outside. And this is, you'll notice that I've overlapped here just to make it fit. The T over the N, in order to make that a little more visible, I've just took a magic marker. So there is a use for magic markers to draw between those 2 letters. Okay, so we get my stick. This is a 1/4 inch lattice, and you want it to fit. You see how there's room here comfortably on each side. This does have 2 cross pieces, and you don't really need 2. 1 is sufficient. I've just used this one stick because it was designed for a vertical sign, and I prefer horizontal signs. So, and I've got a little tape on there. This is stapled together with 3/8 inch staples, and then I've got the 1 inch brads that I showed you. So, and then I've bent those over on the back side. So you want to insert this. And you want to center it, and I often will measure, and then I've got a square here. It's not that easy to square these by hand, just by eyeballing it. So I test that. Okay. And then once you get it square, start stapling. I feel for where the wood is, and let's see. I'm trying to find the wood where it's not on the white, because it shows up more on the white. I like to keep that as clean as possible. I would put a few more staples in than I am, and notice how far off this shorter on here than longer. So if I were just doing this for myself and not in a hurry for you all, I would be measuring that. I'll probably take this apart later and fix it. Okay, that's good enough for now. So what you have is a sign. It's something you can hold up really high. If you have pro-abortion people trying to block you, you can hold on to the very end and get some good visibility. I've had a lot of fun with signs like this, where there was a pro-choice, pro-abortion group, and they were doing a media event, and they had a live TV crew filming them, and I took a sign like this and held it over their heads and was waving it back and forth. Completely stole their thunder. And it was on live TV. There was no editing it, so it was pretty cool. Once you've gotten good at, oh yeah, one other thing here. I talked about storing your signs in plastic bags. This will help it go inside the plastic bag, is to cut these corners off. Because when you're out in a hurry and maybe it's raining or it's windy or you have some people chanting at you, this helps it come out of the bag. Then it'll go in the bag a little easier, and then you won't necessarily have to have anybody help you. Once you get really good at making these signs, then you can graduate to something bigger. Remember, good quality poster board and 1-inch disposable brushes and latex paint. That's the main thing. If you need any other help, or just you'll figure it out, but just get those main things. But once you've got the little signs mastered, then you can move on to something bigger. Planned Parenthood kills prenatal children. This is 4x8 foam board. It's 2 inches. It's lightweight. One person can carry it. One person can hold it. It's a little awkward in the wind. So get out there. Get your friends together. Get your materials. Have a sign making party and go out and tell the truth. I want to add a few things here at the end. I've been painting the sticks on some of my signs. This is a black latex paint. It adds a nice finish to your poster. It's a little more comfortable on the hand. And when you're painting on wood, you want to use a bristle brush instead of the foam brushes which you use on the paper. It's a good idea to use the nitrile gloves on your hands. It makes cleanup a lot easier, especially if you're painting a lot. Over here I've got sticks that are drying, getting ready to put on some signs, and I want to show you these. These are Abortion Kills Children signs that I made for the Life Chain number of years ago. I made 4,000 of them. We did it at a silk screener, worked all night long when after hours, and they still come in really handy. Also, I want to show you this. This is Let Your Baby Live Will Help. This is a sign we use in sidewalk counseling. I made a couple hundred of these, and this one happens to be wood framed and on a wood stand. The others I have are just held by hand, so you can have large numbers of people hold signs like that. So anyway, if there's some details I've left out, I'll try to put them in the notes below the video. Get out there and tell the truth.